movement in Keith Haring. Keith Haring was a graffiti artist and a pop artist who drew chalk and paint of figures in movement, dogs and other peculiar characters. And a lot of his work was with social activism and political activism um, that shows later in his work, even though it has a fun and childlike style. Hello, everyone. I wanted to do an exercise on Keith Haring's Jumping People in Movement, and emphasize the movement. And earlier in the year, I did stick figures with you. At this time, I thought I'd make some kind of sculpture that you can trace around using twist ties or pipe cleaners or any type of wire and that's bendable and that can be twisted around. And you can find them at an art supply store, in the jewelry section, the jewelry making section. You can find them when you get the garbage bags, they'll come with these bendable ties. And I will show you how to make them. And before I did these drawings with you, I just started with lightly did a lollipop stick figure, and I'll just draw a little darker here to draw an outline for the knees and the legs. And after that, I would trace around the stick figure to make it a little fuller and rounder, which is like the style of Keith Haring. But this time we would draw ourselves a model that we can mold and place on the paper, and later on you can make sculptures or armatures out of these by wrapping it with tape or using aluminum foil or in paper mache. But this is just a simple model for us to draw people and people in motion. And the first thing that we're going to do is I'm going to take 2 twist ties like this. And for the one, I'm going to loop it like it's a ribbon. And so this is the head. And I'm going to pinch it in the middle, and I'm just going to twist around like this to make the head and the neck, and it's going to stay like that. And then the other one, which is going to be the legs and the body, you're going to, I'm going to bend this in half here. And then I'm going to put it through the loop where the head is. And again, I'm going to put it together by twisting it so it stays in place. And then I can go move along the body here and just twist around to make that body the torso of your figure. And now the arms look much longer than the legs, so what I can do is I'm going to twist one arm around to make it a little shorter, and I'm going to do the same thing going in the other direction so they don't look like they some people can reach to the ground without bending their knees. So this looks a little bit more correct. So he's got a really small head, but no problem. Basically, you have your stick figure and your model now. So now you can move your model by bending and designating, where the elbow is, and then and also like he's running, you can bend his legs to the way you want, like he's being chased. So this is basic model making, but we're going to use it for two-dimensional drawing. So for the first, I wanted you guys to make 4 different movements with this guy. So I'm going to, once you've done the wire armature, or you can do your a stick figure, I'm just going to trace around my guy, and this time I'm not going to draw feet, I'm just going to draw like he's running, like he's being chased. And you can, anyway, you just hold on to your little guy and try and get him as flat as you can to draw the how this little guy looks like when he's running. And I'll show you some more designs that'll be on my files folder that you can use for for Keith Haring. He does some pretty interesting things. And then let's see what other, like he is jumping up and down. I'm going to put his arms up, and then I'm going to bend his knee, going like he's getting ready to pounce on somebody. I'm gonna flatten it out some more, and then I'm going to trace around again. So what you're doing is you're showing a figure moving in space. In space, I mean on the space of your paper, and you can mold them any way you want. So here's another figure, and this time I'll put a crown on top of him, and gotta see he has I'll put some little dashes here to show that he is jumping and that he is moving. And you can have like a big question mark in the middle of him. Lots of different things. I'm gonna have like a little TV monitor. And finally, on the, you can put this anywhere on your page. Let's see, what are some of the other movements that he has? You can have him do a headstand. You can have him, let's see. You can have him crossing his arms, and he is in lotus position. Let's see, he's doing yoga. So I'm gonna have him do this. He is in full relaxation. He's crossing his legs, and I'm gonna just put, yeah. You can experiment with it, but I also will have a worksheet up to show you some more ways you can make your Keith Haring figure. whether he's in a movement or not. Then you can color, and it's more of a graffiti or street art that Keith Haring is known for, and he died of AIDS in when the beginning of the AIDS epidemic. So we were in a pandemic now, and back in the 80s there was a disease going on, and certain people or anyone could get it, this disease, and nobody knew where it was coming from or how to stop it. And it is exactly what we are going through right now. And it took years and years to get a handle on it. And I hope that with this pandemic, we will get a handle on it, and we will get past this, and at least treat if we do get it, and we can move on and go back to school and go to work and take care of each other. So I will finish this activity. You can use markers, crayons, paint, or just doing our just black and white would be very striking, and play around with your armatures on how you can move and make your figure move around on the page. Thank you for listening. I will show some finished pieces soon.